SFUSD, that's the place to be. SFUSD, bienvenidos a Tijuana. SFUSD, everyone come and see. SFUSD, join our family. S is for students, F for families too. U is for united, talking about me and you. S for solidarity, D is for diversity. SFUSD.
Hola, scientists. It's so wonderful to see all of you. How was your weekend? Ooh, buenísimo. It sounds like a lot of you got some good rest. I hope you were also able to think about germs. Did any of you remember to think of questions or ask some family scientists about them? Awesome, a lot of you did. That'll make things even more interesting. Interestingly enough, I have a question too. Well, I actually got the question from one of my students. I noticed a couple of times before that some of them were not wearing their masks correctly when they had to wear them. So I took some time to show them how to wear them. I reminded them that your mask needs to cover your nose, mouth, and chin. Then one of my students asked, why do we have to cover our chins? So I told them, well, can I show you while I explain? Okay, great. It could be a little hard to explain. So we know from what scientists have told us that the virus, the COVID-19 coronavirus, is passed through water droplets. They've also told us that viruses are a type of germ. We inhale and exhale water droplets when we breathe. If I were to wear my mask without securing it to my chin, anytime I would open my mouth or yawn, the parts of my face that should be covered would be exposed. See? Or if I don't put it over my nose like this, I would be exposed to the virus if somebody nearby had it, and if I stayed around them for a while, of course. But it got me thinking. I can't really observe germs with my sense of sight, not even with my glasses. Because of that, I decided to do some research, scientists. Would you like to see what I learned? Buenísimo. Let's check out what information I gathered. Scientists, gathering information by doing research was so fun. I really felt like a scientist. Oh, some of you haven't heard that word before? Research means to study materials and sources so you can learn facts. And wow, did I learn a lot of facts that were new to me. I learned that there are different kinds of germs, and cooties are not one of them. I learned that germs can be bacteria, viruses, fungi, and protozoa. All of these types of germs can be found all over, and some get around faster than others. Each kind looks different and also functions differently. I drew some pictures of different types of germs to see what you can so you can see what they look like. You might be wondering how we know this, especially since I mentioned earlier that we can't see germs using our sense of sight. Scientists use a tool called a microscope to help them see really small things, like germs. They sketch what they see using A, B, C, D, E, and sometimes they take pictures using the microscope so that they can have really accurate pictures for their scientific notebooks. We'll actually learn more about this microscope tomorrow. As I was continuing with my research, I learned that germs can be passed from person to person in so many different ways. Some of them are passed by coughing, sneezing, and even breathing. So that's why we have to wear the masks, okay? I also read that some germs can be passed through your saliva, sweat, or blood. Wow, I guess that's how small germs are. They can hold on to a lot of things. They can also stay on surfaces for a while too, but they need to be able to get nutrients from a human or plant. That's so interesting. I need to know more about germs. You know what, scientists? I would really enjoy learning more about germs with you. Would you be interested in doing research and collecting evidence with me, just like scientists do? We could record our observations in our science notebooks. Oh, what does evidence mean? Evidence is facts or information that shows whether or not something is true. I'll have to look up what experiments we can do because I don't think we can all use a microscope to observe germs on our own. But will you all do that with me? Estoy muy emocionada. I'm very excited. Well, let's take out our notebooks that we made and start a new entry. I'm going to make mine on a poster so it'll be easier for you to follow along. I'll give us a moment to get our notebooks and something to write with. Estoy lista. I hope you all are too. I'm going to start my page with the date on the top and a number at the bottom, and the title, Germs, Viruses. I'm going to write this information on my poster paper, so please follow along by writing in your notebook. Make sure to also put all of this into your table of contents later. Today's January 25th, 2021. My page number will be page 5. And the title is Germs, Viruses. Got the date, page number, and the title. Muy bien. The question that I want to use to guide us was the one from my student. I'm going to change it a little bit and sketch a face with a mask worn correctly. I'm going to write the question, why do we have to wear our masks like that? Let me use a different color though. Why do we have to wear our masks like that? And this is a question mark, so we end with a question mark. And then like that refers to the face. There we go. So why do we have to wear masks like that? All right. So, awesome. Later, I'm going to write what I shared with all of you, but I want you to do something a little different. I want all of you to do your own research. I want you to talk with some scientists that you live with, I mean your family members, about germs. I also want you to ask them our question and write down what they say. If you know how to do online research or want to do a search with an adult, you can use google.com to start your search. What questions do you think you will ask the scientists in your home? Ooh, those questions sound like they will start interesting conversations. How exciting. Well, scientists, our time together is up for today. I'm looking forward to seeing what answers you get from the scientists in your home. If you would like to share your notebook entry with me, please do so by using the submission link. Can't wait to see all of you mañana.
Hey everybody, it's Mr. Peter. Hello my friends. You know, in normal times, I like to spend my breaks traveling around the United States and other countries in the world. There was the time I visited the Sahara Desert. So beautiful, but not an easy place to live or even travel if you're a human. The word habitat means the natural home or environment of a plant or animal. We've learned about our 5 senses before. Do other animals and plants have senses too? Do they experience the world the way that we humans do? Our song today is about the different places where plants and animals live. Now let's hop on the music mobile and visit some habitats. Plants and animals live on the earth. Some parts of the earth are dry. Some parts are windy. Some parts are rainy. Some are flat. The forest is a home for living things. The forest forest has many trees. The trees need lots of rain. The trees grow close together. The trees give shade. The forest feels cool. Plants and animals live on the earth. Some parts of the earth are dry. Some parts are windy. Some parts are rainy. Some are flat. The plains are a home for living things. The plains don't have many trees, so the wind is free to blow. The crops have room to grow. The plains are flat under an open sky. Plants and animals live on the earth. Some parts of the earth are dry. Some parts are windy. Some parts are rainy. Some are flat. The desert is a home for living things. The desert is covered with rocks and sand. The sand is very hot. The air is very dry. The cactus plant can grow there because it doesn't need much water. Plants and animals live on the earth. Different organisms, different places. Some live in forests, some live on plains. Some live in deserts, some live on mountains. Some live in oceans, some live in rivers. Different organisms evolve and adapt to their habitat. Can you think of some other habitats not mentioned in the song? Now, let's imagine all the wonderful places we will visit in the future when it's safe to go there. Enjoy the rest of the show. See you later, alligators! Hey, that reminds me of another habitat.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for Mondays with Matthews. Both of those start with an M. And today I'm going to share a book with you, Dim Bones. Dim Bones. I wonder what this is about. This book is by Bob Barner. He is the author. And I want to thank Chronicle Books for allowing us to share this with you. Dim Bones by Bob Barner. So I'm going to read the bottom first, because it's actually a song. The toe bone connected to the foot bone. At the end, we're going to sing the whole song. Foot bones are the basement of your skeleton. The 22 bones in your foot support the entire weight of your body. A built-in arch helps absorb shock when you walk, run, or jump. Very important to take care of your feet, so you take care of that arch. The foot bone connected to the ankle bone. Without ankle bones, you wouldn't be able to lift your feet when you walk because the ankle bone swivels. It allows the foot to flex so you can climb stairs, run, or dance. The ankle bone connected to the leg bone. The leg bone. The leg bone is actually two bones, the tibia and the fibula. The fibula, the smaller of the two, is located on the little toe side of your leg. You can feel the tibia at the front of your lower leg. It's the one that really hurts if you get kicked in the shin. Knee bone, the leg bone connected to the knee bone. The knee bone, also known as the kneecap or patella, covers and protects the knee joint. The knee joint works like a hinge on a door, so you can kick, jump, squat, and dance. Knee bone connected to the thigh bone. The thigh bone or femur is the longest and heaviest bone in your body. The top of the femur has a ball joint that moves within a socket in the pelvis. thigh bone connected to the hip bone. The hip bone. The hip bone or pelvis is made up of 6 bones. Sockets in the pelvis hold the ball joints at the top of the thigh bones. The biggest difference between the male and female skeleton is the hip bones. The female hip bone is wider and lighter. Hip bone connected to the backbone. Backbone. You couldn't stand up straight without your backbone. The backbone or spinal column is made up of 24 vertebrae. The last 4 bones in your backbone form the coccyx, the remnant of a tail. The most important job of the backbone is to protect your spinal cord. The backbone connected to the shoulder bone. The shoulder bone actually made up a team of 3 bones, the clavicle, the scapula, and the top of the humerus. The shoulder bone is the most frequently broken bone amongst children. The humerus rotates in a ball and socket joint so you can move your arms around. See what's next. The shoulder bone connected to the neck bone. Neck bone. The neck bone is a continuation of the backbone or spine. It's made up of 7 vertebrae called cervical vertebrae. These 7 bones in your neck rotate so you can turn your head from side to side, nod yes and no, and wiggle your head in time of music. The shoulder bone connected to the neck bone. The neck bone connected to the head bone. The head bone or skull is like a box that grows. The skull, which is made up of 29 bones, is about 50% of adult size at birth and continues to grow quickly during the first year of life. Most importantly, the skull protects your brain when you stand on your head. And here's the song. Dim bones, dim bones, dim, dry bones, dim bones, dim bones, dim, dry bones, dim bones, dim bones, dim, dry bones. Now hear the word of the Lord. Some are dim bones. And you follow the numbers and I'll read them off. 1, see if you can follow the numbers. I'll get closer. I'll try to get closer. Like this. All right, here we go. 1 is the skull. 2, neck. 3, oh, this is going to be hard. Okay, I'm going to come back. 1, skull. 2, neck. 3, vertebrae. 2 neck or vertebrae. 3, clavicle. 4, scapula. 5, sternum. 6, ribs. 7, lumbar. 8, humerus. 9, ulna. 10, radius. 11, phalanges, the finger bones. 12, pelvis. 13, femur. 14, patella. 15, tibia. 16, fibula. 17, tarsals. 18, metatarsals. 19, phalanges, the toe bones. 20, the coccyx. Dim bones, dim bones, dim. Dry bones, dim bones, dim bones, dim. Dry bones, dim bones, dim bones, dim. Dry bones, now hear the word of the Lord. Dim Bones by Bob Barner. Great book to learn about your body. Thank you again, Chronicle Books.
Hi friends, it's Miss Kyra here with San Francisco Ballet's Dance in Schools and Communities team. I'm here with another dance lesson for you all, this time on conducting an experiment, or more specifically, a dance experiment. Now first we're going to be reviewing over the steps of conducting an experiment. Then we're going to be going through with our balancing experiment. And lastly, we're going to be reviewing over our data and we'll say goodbye. Now we got a lot to get through, so let's get going. Let's review over the steps of an experiment. Number 1 is going to be hypothesis, where we create a theory about what's going to happen during our experiment. Number 2 is our experiment, where we try out different things and gather data. Number 3 is going to be our conclusion, where we end our experiment, look at our data, and see what that tells us. So all together, that's hypothesis, experiment, and conclusion. All right, so now it's time to begin our balancing dance experiment. What we're going to do is try 5 different poses that challenge our center of gravity to see how many times we wobble in place. Now what's important here is to gather data that's remembering the names of the different positions that we try and how many times we wobble in place. So 2 different things that we're looking out for. All right, we could do that by keeping that in our head or writing it down in our science notebook. I'll leave that up to you. But let's go on to the poses. Number 1 is going to be the Arabesque. So come onto the side so you can reach up your leg, up and out to the side, put our arms out, and balance for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. How many times did you wobble in the Arabesque position? I'd love to know. All right, pose number 2 is going to be pretty tricky. I hope you're ready. Our center of gravity is going to be way back, and I call this the slippery banana position. So come on, imagine that you are a cartoon character, slipping on a banana and leaning way back, holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Whew, pretty tricky stuff. How was the slippery banana position for you? Go ahead and write that down or think about how many times you wobbled. Number 3 is going to be what I call the thinker. So we're going to put one leg up, our arms in an L, and lean forward, holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down, the thinker. Number 4 is going to be the athlete. So let's go to the side so you can see me grabbing my foot on the same side as my lifting foot. Put up the opposite arm and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down. That was the athlete. And last but not least, number 5 position is going to be the eyes closed position. So let's put up one leg. It's very similar to the thinker, but we're touching our toes to our knees. Our knee is all the way out, pointing forward, and we're crossing our arms over. We're gonna hold this for 10 seconds with our eyes closed. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew, that was tough, friends. I'm curious, which was the hardest position for you to hold? I think for me, it was probably the eyes closed position. It seems like closing my eyes really affects where my center of gravity is, or where my understanding is of my body in space. What was the easiest position for you? For me, I would say it was the thinker. Maybe it's the same one. And that was our experiment. You could even look at your science notebook to see, how can you graph this out? How can you show this data? I'd love to see what you can do with this experiment. Thank you so much for joining me as we conducted our dance experiment. I hope now you feel confident that you can create art and ideas about meaningful topics. You've done so much great work as a scientist, so give yourself a big pat on the back. Thank you again for joining me, and I can't wait to dance with you again soon. Bye, everyone.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alana, and I work with the California Academy of Sciences in San Francisco. Today, I'm here with Sophie.
Hello.
And Hannah.
Hi.
And today we're going to talk with you about sketching, or drawing, like a scientist. Scientists study many different types of things, and they often sketch what they are studying.
This helps them notice details about what they're looking at, remember what they saw at a later time, or can be a way to share their information with others. All you will need to do this is something to draw on, like a piece of paper or a notebook, a pencil or a pen, and some type of natural item you've found or have that you want to study closely. You could use a leaf, a flower, a vegetable. There's many different options. If you have colored pencils, markers, or crayons, that can be helpful too, but it's not necessary.
So let's begin. Sophie, what are you going to sketch today?
I'm gonna sketch the sea star.
And Hannah, how about you?
I am going to sketch this geode.
It's important to know that a scientific sketch is not the same thing as an art picture. It doesn't matter if you feel you draw well or not. The focus is more on getting helpful information into your sketch. Remember to draw just what you see, not what you think the object should look like. It's really helpful to add all the different details you observe with your eyes that make your item unique. You can focus on the shapes you see, the colors, and the details. You can use a ruler to measure your item to remember what size it was. And you can add labels or write words on your sketch that point out different things or questions you may be wondering about. Have fun sharing your sketch so that others can learn from it too.
Well, there you have it. Now you can sketch like a scientist. Have fun observing and learning. Bye.
Goodbye.
Hello, I'm Superintendent Dr. Vincent Matthews of the San Francisco Unified School District. It made me so happy to spend time with you today. I hope you had fun too.
What did you make on the show today? Submit your content here using the QR code or go to bit.ly, bit.ly/SFUSD, yes, why yes, and watch all of our episodes at sfusd.edu/SF loves learning.
And now it's time to say goodbye. So let's sing our goodbye song. For this song, you have to use your whole body. Will you sing it with me? Are you ready? Wave high, wave low. For now, it's time to go. Wave your elbows, wave your toes, wave your tongue, and wave your nose. Wave your knees, wave your lips. Blow a kiss with your fingertips. Wave your ears, wave your hair, wave your belly, and wave your derriere. Wave your chin, wave your eye. For now it's time to say goodbye. Bye-bye.
SFUSD, that's the place to be. SFUSD, bienvenidos a Tijuana. SFUSD, everyone come and see. SFUSD, join our family.